Hey everybody, I hope that you are doing well today. This is Pastor Noah at Galilee Baptist Church coming to you live from quarantine. I first and foremost do want to send my well wishes and my prayers to you all and let you know that I am praying for you through this difficult time, but I do hope that you still are able to find some rest and you're able to grow in your walk with Christ during this crazy and hectic time because of the COVID-19 virus. I wanted to start this little video series called Why We Sing. I want to explore the reasons that we sing particular songs at our church. And some of you may be thinking, oh, that's an easy question because it talks about God or it talks about Jesus and his sacrifice. But I do want to take just a smaller in-depth look at it and try to help you guys understand why we choose certain songs over other ones. If we're all being honest with each other, I think that we can say that this pandemic definitely caught us all off guard. Whether it was because we didn't think that the COVID-19 virus was something that needed to be dealt with at the time because it was just like the flu, or whether we didn't actually realize the scale at which we were going to be dealing with this virus. But whatever side of the camp you fall on, this pandemic definitely caught us all off guard. But I'm here to tell you a very, very important truth of what you believe, Christian. This disease and this virus did not catch God the Father off guard. I want to turn your attention to the book of Isaiah in chapter 40 real quick. Starting in verse 12, it reads, "Who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and marked off the heavens with a span, enclosed the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighted the mountains in scales, and the hills in a balance? Who has measured the Spirit of the Lord? Or what man has shown him his counsel? Whom did he consult? And who made him understand? Who taught him the path of justice, and taught him knowledge, and showed him the way of understanding?" Church, many of you would recognize the song, "Behold Our God." It's something that we sing pretty regularly as a church at Galilee. But do we stop and think about what that actually means, what we're actually singing? Look at the first verse with me. "Who has held the oceans in his hand? Who has numbered every grain of sand? Kings and nations tremble at his voice, and all creation rises to rejoice." Church, this song talks about how our God is completely in control, or he is completely sovereign. Nothing catches our God off guard, and that should bring you a sense of peace, especially as you go through these trying times of not knowing what is going to come next. Church, the song shows us that God is in control of all things, from the oceans that he holds in the hollow, as Isaiah tells us, in the hollow of his hand. He numbered every grain of sand. But he's also the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. Our God is all-powerful and he is all-knowing, and nothing catches him by surprise. The same God who controls the oceans, who holds them in the hollows of his hands, who is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, cares for you and me. Look at verse 3 of this song with me, and look at these lyrics. It says, "For who has felt the nails upon his hands, bearing all the guilt of sinful man? God eternal, humble to the grave, Jesus, Savior, risen now to reign." Church, the same God that holds the oceans in his hands and is in control of all of the powers of the world cares for me and you, cares so much that he sent his son in the form of a human baby to die on the cross in my place and in your place, so that we may have fellowship and a relationship with him. That is the same God who is in control of the coronavirus. It's the same God who's in control of cancer and in control of hurricanes and earthquakes and everything else. That same God cares for me and for you. So there are 3 reasons that I want to give you as to why we sing this song together at Galilee. First and foremost, the reason that we sing this is to acknowledge that our God is totally sovereign, that he is totally in control, that nothing catches him by surprise. While things here may catch us off guard, or we may not be expecting certain events or certain troubles to come our way, that nothing catches our God off guard. And we sing this song to acknowledge that truth. Secondly, we sing this song to remind ourselves that despite God's great power and authority, that he does still take time to care. While he is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, he is still a God of mercy, and he is a God of grace. So we take time to sing this song to show that God is, while he is all of these incredible and awesome and powerful things, that he is still a God that cares greatly for his people. Lastly, church, we sing this song to remind ourselves that despite all of our circumstances, despite whether it's good things that are happening or bad things that are going on, despite the coronavirus or despite the earthquakes and the hurricanes that may come our way, that God is completely in control. And while that may be hard for us to understand and wrap our minds around, because we are a people who want to know what's coming next, the fear of unknown cripples us at times. We serve a God who cares so greatly for us and is in control of all of those things. Be on the lookout for more episodes to come in the future of Why We Sing, as we dive into the reasons that we at Galilee Baptist Church sing particular songs. Thank you guys for joining in, and I hope and pray that this time is a time not just of health and of safety for you all, but also a time where you're able to grow with your Lord and Savior.